Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and this is the Love Project. If you are new here, thank you for coming. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you're not aware, we just finished up a series called Accountability. And in that series, we did 6 weeks where we talked about different things and different ways to be accountable for your walk in preparation for marriage. So, if you have not already had the chance to check that out, be sure to do so. So, today we are just going to be talking about what to do until you see the promise. A lot of times we are just told, you should have somebody. Like, why you don't have somebody? As if something is wrong with you, as if singleness is a bad thing. And in reality, it's just, again, just a season, but also it's so beautiful if you allow it to be. So, I kind of just want to talk about what to do until the promise. When not only God has given you the desire for marriage, but when you just know in your heart that, yeah, marriage is coming, but of course you don't know when. And especially if you don't have a potential mate at the time, that makes it very hard. First things first, I want to get this off my chest. Singleness is good. Singleness is beautiful in the same way that marriage is good and marriage is beautiful. How I know this? Because God made marriage and God made singleness. God made us individuals. So there is something important about us being able to stand alone, being able to be on our own, being able to be sure of ourselves, being able to find our identity in Him before we link up with that person that we're going to do life with. And I think even much so, if you conquer this season of your life, it makes it so much easier when you then have that person to do life with. Because again, marriage is beautiful, but it is not easy. Like, when you think about math, 1 plus 1 equals 2. Only God says 1 plus 1 equals 1. So there is something that's magical, that's tricky about that, right? So how does 1 plus 1 equals 1? Because something has happened spiritually that causes you to get in that agreement and that alignment with God. The same way God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is one. How three equals one? We don't know, but we believe it, and it is so. And in the same with marriage. So I think the goal of singleness is being whole and 100 in yourself, so that when you do connect with that person, is another person that's whole, is another person that's 100, and that 100 just end up being 100 altogether. So that's that. But three things I guess I would say that you would do until the promise, and it's very cliche, but I find it to be very true. Those three things is to live, love, and laugh. Erica. Yeah, it sounds like a slogan, right? It sounds like something you would put on your wall. It sounds like a picture you'll use as your motto, and so on and so forth. And that's true. I mean, it can be all of those things, but the truth is, when you're trying to get somewhere, and for us, you're trying to get to marriage, there is something you have to do in the process. And I truly believe that those things are to live your life, to love others, and to laugh, right? And we'll start with live. So, pretty much, you have to live. So often we sit and we almost like wait on time to pass. We wait till hoping to get to that place, but you gotta live. And a part of living is learning you. We talked about this a lot, like learning who you are. You can take the time and write, if that's something you like to do. If you like to draw, if you like to create, you do those things. Reading, read books, learn things, learn about other people's life, other people's experience. learn about something that you're interested in and you don't really know much about. Um, Read the word, of course, read the word, learn of God, learn what God says about you so that you can then become that person. Travel. And this is like a big thing. A lot of people don't like to solo travel, so that may be up there for some people. So I would say start with dating yourself. Start with dating yourself, and then eventually you may get to a place where you're willing to travel um, alone. It was something I did. I enjoyed it. I was a solo traveler and I was gone. I've been overseas. I've been all over the states. I would take drives and different things. Not too far because I'm not a big driver, but I will go different places, and I think that that's important to just be able to enjoy time with yourself and to really live your life. I think it's important to discover yourself, to get down to the, finding out why you are the way you are. I think that is so important. In my singleness, I learned a lot about Erica, like a lot. And some of it was good and some of it was bad. Like, different habits, why I am the way I am, why I do what I do, why I react the way I react to certain things. For instance, the way I am with money. So I am a person that I'm really good at saving money. As far as like, I'm a cash person, so I know cash is like pretty much played out in these days. I remember when I went to go get my car. I went to go get me a car. Now, up until this point, every car I had was paid out. So again, I'm a saver. I make a goal, I save my money, and then I go do it. I've always been the type that I never wanted anything I couldn't pay for. If I didn't have the money for it, I wasn't getting it. And that was a big thing based on how I grew up. I had never financed nothing. I had never put myself in a position to show on black and white that I was a person that was managing money well. All my bills was paid on time. Like literally, I had two apartments at this point, and none of this stuff had hit my credit. I had so much stuff. Like I had the stuff. I had the house. I had the cars before. I had taken trips and did all these things. And again, if I show you my account, I got the money, man. What's the problem? But on paper, there was no trail. There was no trail of how I moved money because I paid for everything in cash. And so it was actually opposite for my husband. My husband, he is better with credit, which is great because now we're matching the two. I'm bringing things to the table that say, okay, what's our goal? This is how we're gonna save money, and he's teaching me like, okay, this is how you move credit around. My husband, he have like an 800 credit score, and so he's been managing that because again he know how to move with credit. And mind you, he's self-taught. Nobody taught him this, but again, he on the other side saw how his family moved with money and decided to do something different, to learn about it and be able to not only accomplish a great credit score but be able to maintain a great credit score. Those are things that you gotta find it out. Like, you find it out in this season. You don't want to get with somebody, you don't want to get married and then find out that you're horrible with money, or find out that the reason why you click out all the time is because you come from a family where they fussing all day. All you used to hearing is fussing, fussing, fussing. So now you go to talk to your spouse and you way it up here, and they're like, to bring it down. Like, we don't have to communicate like that, which is true. You don't have to communicate like that, but when that's all you know, that's what you bring to the table. And so you find out these things about yourself now, and you have time to fix it. And then a big part of too is the discipline, like working on disciplining yourself, whether it's time management, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's just having time for a mate. Because again, in this single season, you in your own time. You could do what you want, how you want, when you want. So kind of just making a routine, disciplining yourself to an extent where somebody else could come into that into your environment and actually be able to fit. Something else I did while single, which is funny, right? Is that in the discipline area, I wanted to be sure that I will be able to be a submissive wife. Again, I don't have no experience in this area. My family just not a family that full of marriages and stuff like that. So it's not nothing I had seen or anything personally. But according to the word, wives should submit to their husbands. Now, of course, husband and wife submit to one another. That's the word. But there is a significance of the wife falling under the husband. So with that, and I'm a believer of the word, I was like, Lord, I'm independent. I do my thing and I do it well. So how do I mesh this? Like, because I feel like a big part of it is we as women, particularly black women, we are not this way because we want to be. We are this way because we have had to be for so long. Even in my singleness, my independency, like I mentioned, I come from a home of 6 children, single mother, taking the place of the authoritative figure when my mom was out the house, being the oldest girl. So I had to be independent. I had to be responsible. I had to be these things. Then once I got out, on my own, I had to take care of myself. And so I wanted to make sure that translate well into my marriage. So what I did is, a part of my discipline is I practice submitting to leadership. Whether it was leadership at my church, leadership on my job. My job, all my bosses was men. And honestly, a lot of times I didn't agree with them. I didn't agree with them with a lot of things, but it was important for me, and I definitely felt like it was Holy Ghost led, because even for the Lord to show me this and give me the revelation to recognize this opportunity to submit to leadership, again, it had to be the Holy Spirit. So with that, I practiced that during that time. We will have meetings, and in those different times where usually I would be like, oh no, I don't think blah 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 blah, I sat and I was like, okay, so if we go about it this way, what is the end result? So what are we respecting? I learned how to what are we expecting? I learned how to communicate better under leadership. I learned how to be able to voice my concern, be able to voice my thoughts and opinions, but be able to take whatever the end result was, meaning that when it all came down to it and my bosses said, well, I understand how you feel. I definitely understand where you're coming from, but this is what we're going to do. I accepted it for this is what we're going to do. And I feel like that translate over well to marriage. Now, my husband, thankfully, is not just this dominant figure. Like he's just not like that. So a lot of things we talk out, we discuss, and I very much feel like he listened to me, he take in consideration what I say, and he want me to be a part of decision making. And even in some cases, he give me the free range to just make the decision, right? He trusts me, so if I want to do something or decide to do something, I'll just let him know as a heads up. It's not really like I ain't asking permission per se, but I'm gonna put him on game like, oh babe, I'm gonna blah blah blah, and he'll be like, okay, cool. But for the most part, when it's real decision making, I bring it to him, he brings it to me, we have discussion about it, but ultimately I am kind of like there in a sense to say where, babe, this is what I think. I'm really not whatever. And literally I usually always say, but it's whatever. It's whatever you want to do. And that ain't easy. That ain't easy. And I know it's not easy because I wasn't like that. Like, that has never been my approach. But I know that that was something I worked on personally in my free time, in my singleness. And so again, I just feel like those things translate over so well. So I say that to say, live your life while you're single. Learn why you are who you are, why you do what you do. Take time to learn different things outside of yourself, your interests, what you like to do. Work on the things that you won't have the time to do later, whether it's being creative, whether it's traveling, dating yourself, so on and so forth. And also definitely take the time to work on those disciplines, whatever there may be for you, any area that you are just wilding out and doing whatever you want to do. Kind of just ask yourself, is will this be a problem when I'm in a relationship? Because it could be cool now because it's just you, but it could become a problem later when somebody else either have to take on that thing you like to do, or the thing you spend your time doing, or even or then responsible for you when you're still doing whatever it may be. I think a good example of that would be like a guy who plays games. So there's men who love to play the game, and to each his own. I've never been attracted to that type of person because I've never been attracted to a person that decides to spend their time that way. If it's a guy who plays games, like to play games, you right now you're single, so you probably play games for hours. I know some men play games all night to the wee hours of the morning. And again, that may be fine in this season, but will you be able to do that when you have a wife? Will you be able to do that when you have a family? Probably not. And if you're trying to make time to do so, it's very selfish of you to try and squander this time on the game when you have life going on, right? So that's for anything that any person like to indulge in. Just really look over those things and try and discipline yourself in those areas. So now we'll move on to two, which is love. Love. I love love. So let's get back to why the whole reason why the name of this channel is the Love Project is because my maiden name is Love. So my name was Erica Love, but Erica Love was always my name, full name. E Love, Miss Love, Dr. Love, you name it. Some people call me like my old middle name. But it's only a couple people that call me that. But love, always do my thing. So I am like the name had fit me perfectly because I love love, right? But I think we get so consumed with love, we get so consumed with a romantic love, and romantic relationship is not the only relationship that matter. Romantic relationship should be a want and not a need. So just make sure that you're not just consumed with love and falling in love and finding your mate and being found by somebody, and all of those things. So a part of this process is loving. If you think you just gonna get with somebody and just know how to love, you're wrong. Like, love is action. Love should be practiced, and you cannot receive love until you have been loved. So of course, it goes back to the word. There is someone who loved us, who loves us, who loved us enough to give his life. That is Jesus. He's our Savior, and that is the ultimate love. That is the perfect love. So I say, until you find that love, you're really not looking for the love you think you're looking for in a mate. You're really looking for Jesus. So if you know Jesus, then you're already on the right track, because now you can express that love and then receive that love in return from a mate. But again, romantic relationships is not the only relationships that matter. While you are single, while you are on your way to the promise, love fully. Whether it's if you already have kids, love your child, your children, siblings, love them, your parents, love them, like your friends is like honestly the closest thing to marriage. And I say that because your family, you're born into your family. Your family is who they is, and you just have to deal with that, right? But you chose your friends. Throughout your life, the different seasons in your life, you ran into people. You realized y'all had something in common. You realized y'all had a chemistry. Y'all became friends. Y'all done worked through some things. Y'all done took some losses. Life has changed. You've battled some things out. You've battled some things through, and that is your friend. So I think, me personally, I think friendship is the closest thing to marriage. And I also believe that that's why your spouse should be your friend first, because I feel like that translates well. I feel like the only difference is there's not the expectation on the friendship that there is on the marriage due to the romantic side of it, because as we mentioned, when sex get involved and covenant happens, there is something spiritually that soul tie is real. So love on your friends and be loved by your friends. Ask your friends, what's something you think I should work on? Like, do you think I'm a good friend? Like, what's something that you feel like, what's the area you feel like I've grown in the last few years and stuff like that? I think that's important. Have those conversations with your friends. And if they real friends, they going to be real with you. They going to tell you what you need to work on. They're going to tell you what you're good at, what you do well and where you excel in. Of course, they're your cheerleaders. They going to, push you forward. And even once you do meet a person, that you could bring that person to them and kind of see how they feel about them. Of course, that shouldn't be the ultimate decision, but again, it should matter if you have good friends. And again, you'll get the idea of your friends, where they are, how they think about you, and so on and so forth in this process. So love. There is, we have a love tank, as the five love languages describe, and I think there are many relationships that can keep your tank on full. For me, honestly, like on my job, I'm a person who love people anyway. But on my job, when I have relationships on my job, like I be full. Like I love going to work and talking, to my friends at work, and just those different relationships, learning about each other, and honing my skills, and somebody teaching me something. I get to train somebody on something and help them become better. Like those relationships, it did something for me. Church, oh, love, love church relationships, because usually, if you're in the right church and if you're actually open to meeting the people that go to your church and talking to them and stuff, I feel like that feel you because you're around like-minded people. You get to talk about life and relationships and different things, but you get to talk about God with them. When you're a believer, you don't get to talk about God with everybody. At least not to that fulfillment level that you do with, again, like-minded people who know God but have different experiences with God, right? And they get to share those experiences. They get to share their point of view of how they see God and how they view the Word and just different things, right? So those relationships was very, very filling for me. That was very necessary in my singleness. So I definitely suggest that. Community. I used to serve my community. I worked for or volunteer for a nonprofit and helping people. We will help the elderly. We will help the children. We will have all type of events for the community, and I love that. That stuff will fill my cup. You hear me? Because I was able to take my time. I could have been doing anything with my time, but I decided to serve other people that needed it. That those elderly people, we would go to the nursing home, like they needed company. They tell you jokes, you play games with them, like just loving on people. And I think that is so so important. So in this time, in this season, until you get to the promise, love, 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 love. Just give love, receive love. And I guarantee you, once you meet that person, not only are you going to get that the fullness of that love you desiring, but you gonna have so much love to give, because your tank is just gonna be so full. You're gonna even choose better, because you're gonna be with the person you desire. You're not coming from a place of desperate where you so empty that you just need something. No, you gonna be so full where you like, baby, what you got? Cause I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love. So they can't be bringing them anything. They gotta be bringing just the fullness of love, right? So love, love, love. I can't say that enough, and I think that is so important. Last but not least, laugh, 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 laugh. If you know me, and maybe you don't, I love a good laugh. When I tell you I love a good laugh, like I sometimes I would just kind of embarrassing. I would just go on like YouTube or TikTok and like find the type of laughter I like. Like I like jokes about people who get, this is so embarrassing. I like stuff like people get tased. I like I like to see people get tased. I don't know why, but that is hilarious to me. I like stuff when people's stomach be bubbling. Oh my goodness. Like, you know how, like, right now they got, like, the fart prank and stuff, and how people react to, like, the smell of somebody else's stomach bubbling. I be crying laughing. So, laugh, laugh, laugh. Whatever you got to do to get you a good laugh. And, of course, if you got friends, I got some friends that's hilarious. We either sharing videos with each other, we'll call and talk to each other and just have each other cracking up or whatever. So I think laughing is so important. Surround yourself with people who are happy and who wants to laugh and have a good time. So go out, gather with your friends. Right now we got social media. Just take you some time, and if your laughter, you remember the time you had a good laugh, go find some videos. Go find something to get you a good laugh. I could think about something old that happened and be crying, laughing. I do this a lot with my family. Like we have a group, our family group, and literally one of us would just be like, "Oh, remember when blah 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 blah," and we be cracking up, man, because I love to laugh. The people I know love to laugh. So that is like really big with me. And I think that is so important to living a full and healthy and happy life. Like you gotta be laughing. Um the Bible said laughter is medicine. Laughter is medicine. And so yeah, listen, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna give me a good laugh. I could find anything to laugh at. Go to comedy shows. You could just do different stuff. I would say like something I used to do was look at the calendar. So every city have a calendar. So you can look at the calendar in your city, find out what's going on, so that you could go out, do stuff, explore different things, take yourself out on dates, try something new. Something I would definitely do often was like the paint and sip. I used to love going to the paint and sip. I have so many pictures, it's like ridiculous. But, they'll have a open night and they'll show you what they're painting, and you can pick a date and just go. Go by yourself. They'll have other people there. They might be in their little groups or whatever, but you just go paint and sip, enjoy yourself. Again, go to comedy shows, sit there, laugh, enjoy yourself. Whatever it is you want to do or choose to do or decide to do with your time. But definitely enjoy your life, laugh it up, and at the end of the day, The promise is coming. The promise is there, and God doesn't go back on His promise. His promise is yes and amen. If He said He gonna do it, and because He said, He gonna make it good. So hold fast to the promise, but in the meantime, be sure to live, to laugh, and to love. You deserve it, and yeah, you deserve it. So that'll be all for today. Thank y'all for stopping by. And also be sure to come back next week. So we usually drop videos on Sundays, Mondays latest, but at least a video a week. So be sure to comment, like, subscribe, ring that bell so you get the notification for when a new video drop. And I will see you next time. Love ya.